I learned from being in a toxic marriage. Part 5 million, right? Hope y'all doing good out there. Currently on the highways of Texas right now. I'm gonna do some contractor work before I do some more contractor work and spend time with the fam before contractor work. So it's just so crazy how life works, how tables turn. It's just so crazy how God does things to teach you a lesson. At least that's where I'm at with my spiritual connection with God. It's like getting the messages, going through the circumstances, and understanding that you are learning. You know, like this is for a reason. Like something's coming out of it. I'm preparing you for something. And for a minute, like for a long time, even a couple of years, you know, while I was in my toxic relationship or whatever, there were moments, of course, when this is when I was definitely like deemed depressed. But I started to feel like I deserved, you know, like this is what I get. Like this is what I get for getting married the way I got married, you know, for doing it like in a way that you're being naive, but you're keeping it a secret, but you were, you know, following the leadership of somebody who didn't, you know, have like that foundation of like, you know, God in their own energy, if you will. So that's why I say the word naive to describe myself and why in the world I married somebody at 27 when I just did not have the marriage mentality, you know, what I've been talking about. But another part of going to divorce is like forgiving yourself and mentally maturing. Like I really can't stress the mentality aspect of marriage enough because, you know, like I said before, people want like the wedding, they want to, you know, show off, you know, they want to show everybody like they are part of the percentage of people that's not out here no more, you know, so people, you know, they got together for, you know, hopefully for the reason that God created it for. But, you know, sometimes, you know, we as humans, we take things our own way. We interpret it our own way to justify what we want to do. Ultimately, you're going to, you know, that's going to come around and bite you. That's what happened with me in my marriage. Me getting married the way I did. That's how God came and snatched me back up and said, okay, done. Like, are you done? So I feel like now, today, February 7th, 8th, everything is so different compared to how I thought I had it set up. You know, you want to make God laugh, you tell him your plans, or just have a plan that you think that is, you know, synonymous to how God thinks. In his ways is never that way. Let me just let you know that now. Let me humble you and let you know the way you think is never the way God is thinking. Your idea of how you're going to get to where you're going to get through what you're going to get to is never in sync. It's never, well, it should be in sync and compatible, but it's never on the same level of the way God's going to do it. So sometimes we find ourselves anxious and upset because we're looking at the end. Like, how am I going to come out of this depression? Like, how am I going to co-parent? How am I going to go to work knowing that the other co-parent is no longer participating? And that's currently where I'm at, if we're just being real. Which is completely different from a couple months ago even, which was also last year. But, you know, just to tell it how it is, you know, I had that mentality for a minute of just like, in the beginning of like the breakup of the toxic relationship, it was just like, if he doesn't do his part, then I can't do anything. I can't go to work if he doesn't, you know, I had that mentality. But now that I've been in my Bible, now that I've been learning God more and how he works in my life, you know, like how he delivers his messages to me ever since I dived in to learn about how he works, I'm learning now that, you know, everything is for a reason, for you to develop and for you to learn, for you to mature, for you to take the circumstance, some knowledge, some wisdom, some whatnots, and what to continue to do as well. Because when circumstances change again, then you know how to maneuver, and then you'll have peace with it. That's my big deal. Like, I know that getting in the Bible and learning about God, I know that circumstances are going to change. Life is going to give you ups and downs. It's never just going to be always up. So as long as you have that mentality, cool. You understand that there's a hardship. Cool. I'm about to get blessed after this. Something is coming after this. I got to get prepared for something. I got to learn how to go through this. So I know when this comes up again, or I know how to prevent this, a little bit better, regardless of what it is, whether it's discernment, whether it's picking a person, whether it's, being financially responsible. All those things I feel like are part of the mentality, for marriage, for any type of commitment. You got to commit to being responsible. That comes with paying bills, that comes with, paying rent, having a strategy for your money, priorities, putting things that are, more so for your livelihood ahead of your wants, if you will, that type of mentality. So for me to be where I am now, which is crazy how it just came about, because it's just a sense of awe that you get when you see how God answers your prayers and makes it all work. And when you just leave it to God, literally, like if you read the Bible and you know that you're supposed to cast your cares to Him, and everything will be added to you. You'll get all the things that you're asking for and more things just because you came to Him about it. If you know, then you know. But if you don't know, then I need you to find out how you can know, so you can make it a part of your life. Because that's the only way that I've been getting through divorce, y'all. I know people say oh, I admire your strength. Listen, it's not mine. It's not mine. All my strength comes from the Lord. I kid you not. There's no way I'll be able to get through such an event, such an emotional, strain as a divorce in a relationship, and, dependency, codependency, and all the things that have come with it, like memories of family, and just like any marriage is just not the most, honorable thing to do. But where I am right now, let me get back on track. Where I am right now on a weekend, how I set up my life, to work 4 days a week. I prayed and asked God for it. I journaled it. I manifested it and told myself that I wanted to work, a 4-day work week, so I could be available for my kids. There was a time where I was fighting to see my kids when my spouse was working at the school, and got served with a divorce. So I guess that was his opportunity to use, some power to control a situation that he felt like he could control, so he can no longer feel like someone else was in control, i.e. myself, with, the embarrassment of serving you papers at work because, you refuse to communicate maturely. All the things, there's so many different things. But to be here now and to have a different mentality about okay, we haven't heard from, seen anything, no communication from this man since January the 10th in the parenting app. So for me to feel it as if, wow, I can't, we're back to this, getting reminded of those triggers. I was telling my cousin, you're going to go through things and you're going to get triggered. You're going to get reminded of those negative emotions. The only thing, if you're learning, if you're trying to evolve, or if you plan on getting past having this person have the power of your emotional, energy, then you're going to suffer. However, if you just feel the emotion, you let it go, and you understand, or you learn that I get triggered when mothers aren't held accountable. I get triggered when I feel like I have to rearrange my life. And I was that person. I would get triggered because I feel like I can't do this by myself. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to go from being somebody's stay-at-home wife, or just like there were times I was the one that was thriving and I was the breadwinner. Like, we were married for like 5 years, still married because I can't get a divorce because I don't know where he's at. But it's gonna happen. But there's an evolution of mentality that comes with all of this, the healing process. Even before you even get married, there should be a mentality that you already have about a lot of things. We get into that later, but right now I'm just in awe with the fact that I still have those work days. You know what I'm saying? I still have what I had, that I worked for, that I'll say that I prayed for. I wanted to have a certain schedule that offset my children's other parents' schedule, so that it can work, so that I'm available for them, maximum amount of days that I can be, and that I'm not putting work before them. Now everything has changed. I have new contracts, new positions, like new responsibilities, in my field of work, and these are things that I literally would journal or pray, ask God for, and just manifest. And I had a sense that I felt that it would happen to me, because that's all you need is faith. God brought me this far ever since this divorce, and ever since I just dove into that spirituality aspect of it, getting to know Christ and how he works in your life when you just seek him and try to figure out how he works. That's all he wants you to do, and then tell people how he works in your life. That's what I'm trying to do, and hope that it'll help somebody else that may be going through some type of emotional, emotional healing journey after being in an extremely toxic, traumatic relationship experience, because I have. That's what I'm here talking about. And I'm just amazed at how God has put the work in on me. I'm gonna give it all to him. He put the work in on me to get to a place where I can mentally, maturely continue on with everything, knowing that one person does not stop what God has for me is going to come to be regardless. I don't have to worry about what this other person is doing. Yes, I do want justice for my kids. Yes, I do feel like that person should be held responsible, but it doesn't stop my life. I can't just fixate on making that my whole life's purpose, but continuing to maneuver, continuing to push forward, continuing to mentally and maturely know that that person's behavior no longer affects my finances, it no longer affects my, my mentality, it no longer affects my energy, it no longer affects what I'm able to do, and it no longer controls what I can and cannot do, because I'm no longer associated with that. And that's the biggest thing for me. So a job change, a schedule change, none of that matters. Just give it to God. That's what I did. I don't know. You're never gonna know the in-betweens of you praying and you getting what you're gonna get, whatever God gives you. The in-between you can't worry about. And I feel like that's where a lot of us get stuck. Can't worry about the in-between time. And you can't continue just, thinking you can just jump ahead to getting what it is that you need. No, you have in between. You should just be learning what you're learning, what you can take from the circumstance that you're in. Focus on that, and the anxiety will subside. Get more spiritual. Understand how the high power that created everything works. Understand what he wants for us to do. Why we're even on the earth, why he even sculpted us out of the dust to even be on the earth. Is to go through life, lean on him to get through life, to understand life, because he created it. And then everything that he does for you in your life that you have learned, that you can visually attest to because you know what he's all about, you tell people about it, so then they can believe in it. And then they can go seek God for themselves. And then more people are seeking God for themselves. And more people are changing themselves mentally. And hopefully we can change the world. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But that's my vlog for today. I'm gonna go and do my contractor work that God blessed me to have contracts to do, because I prayed for this, and I'm just so grateful that I'm even here, that I'm able to even talk about what I've learned, what I know. Some things I know, some things I'm learning, but obtaining wisdom is the first step to fearing God. Show God you fear God. Get some wisdom. Best way to get some wisdom, seek first the kingdom of heaven. That's where it's at. So I hope this reaches somebody. I hope this is in the ears of the person that needs it. Let me know how you're getting through what you're getting through. Let me know how you're not getting through what you're getting through, or what you need help getting through, whatever you're going through. But open up that Bible. Open up your spirituality and open up your mentality. Till next time, my divorce diaries. I hope this entry was for somebody else too. Bye.